What's going on, guys? Nate here, doing a public spa race. I'm running a new setup, a HIMO setup, and we're gonna see what we can do. Also want to test out recording the new 5800X 3D. So hopefully get a good start and we just run away with it. I'm gonna try and time it well.
Green light, show them where you go.
This Beamer behind got a great start. He's gonna try and take the outside. Not gonna fuss over it too much.
Car on the left. Clear on the left. Car on the left. Yellow flag in sector 1. Clear on the left.
Some nice side-by-side racing. If you're on the outside in this corner, though, there's no chance that you're gonna make the pass around the outside. It's too long of a corner. Tires are still a bit cold. Big mistake. Running most of our settings on Epic right now. 1440. Just really trying to see what we can do with this chip. So far it looks like it's running pretty smooth. I also got my temperatures pulled up here, because along with the new chip, I got a new all-in-one cooler. Kind of blew that corner a little bit. But package temps for the chip are running nice and cool. Currently at 68 degrees. Graphics card is running about 80, which is normal. I do a lot of streaming, but just straight recording races. Haven't done a whole lot independently from streaming. Overcooked it. Trying to get better at entering that corner, bouncing out wide beforehand. Want to keep it a lot tighter through there. Do that, there's definitely a few tents in there. But overall, the differences between the 5600X, which is what I was running before, and the 5800X 3D seem to be tremendous. I'm able to run my settings much higher.
Yellow flag in sector 2.
And with the new cooler, my temps are much better than they were with the 5600.
Well done, Blake. Fastest lap of the race so
218.7.
far.
Can definitely do a little better than that. Huge difference in CPU load. Obviously the 5800X 3D is a much nicer processor. But before, when streaming or recording and gaming, we were sitting right around 90% CPU usage. And with the new chip, it's usually right around 40. Bad habit of shifting down there, didn't need to. Also shifted down one extra gear there. Try and keep this a little tidier. If you do it right, that second corner there, it's just a small lift as opposed to a lift and weight. But yeah, we'll go through after this. I'll show you the settings that we're running in terms of graphics or video settings. I know graphics card is what plays the biggest role in the equation, but ACC seems to be fairly
Yellow flag in
CPU
sector
intensive, so
2. Fastest lap of the race. Great job, Blake.
worse exit that time. I mean, better, but worse. You guys know what I mean. I felt a little smoother. Slopped it up at the end there. Had to downshift and save myself. Little better. The replays with this new chip are amazing. Can just turn everything on absolute max. And it almost looks like real life. I don't know how much time we lost there, but sheesh.
There's a car exiting pit lane.
Close to a warning, maybe. Little too hot coming in here.
We're halfway through. Keep pushing.
This HIMO setup versus what I normally run, the rear end just wants to kick out on you quite a bit more. So there's definitely speed in it. But you have to be very precise. Be a little slower lap time unless we absolutely nail this. The bus stop. Wow, we made it worse. CPU still sitting at 65 degrees. And the reason I upgraded all this stuff is because when streaming, I was getting quite a few PC crashes. Just started coming out of nowhere. And ultimately, I'm pretty sure what the issue was the PSU, the power supply unit. Because I'm running a Aorus 3080, which is a decent graphics card. But that card is known to have some pretty big spikes in power. And so the 750 watt unit that I was using, my theory was that it just wasn't supplying enough, and so then the screens would just go black. So definitely went overboard and got ourselves a 1200 watt to kind of future-proof our PSU. And since then, everything's been running much more stable. On the throttle way earlier there. That's what you want. But yeah, right now with the settings pretty doggone high, getting 95 frames per second. If I had DLSS on, would probably see us pinged right at 120. I think I'm running FSR at ultra quality right now. Because FSR, in my opinion, and you guys let me know in the comments what you run, FSR, in my opinion, looks a lot nicer than DLSS. DLSS will give you better frames sometimes, although in my testing it's kind of been about the same. And DLSS is going to utilize your graphics card as opposed to your CPU. Let's get a little sketchy for a moment. But FSR, the cars, the materials just looks way better. I find with DLSS, and I'm sure a lot of you guys can relate, you get a lot of ghosting around the materials on the cars. And it makes everything look so blurry that, I don't know. I mean, it's not the end of the world, but at the end of the day, realism is kind of what we're going for with simulations. So opted to stay in third there, only lost a few tenths. I've seen some fast guys in Beamers do it, stay in third gear there because you don't get that downshift and that engine braking. I think I'm just not going through the corner fast enough to really utilize that. Got a couple more laps here. I have tested this out in single player. And in single player, you can run through offline mode, I should say. Single player, just a practice, whatever. I mean, you can run it with all the settings maxed out, no FSR, no DLSS, and it still works fantastic. I don't do a whole lot of that though, so that's the stuff, Nate. Come on. Still somehow slower. Very tender. Kept our speed. Still a slower exit though. About even through there. Oh, the other thing I'm updating as well is my actual computer tower. 'Cause I don't know a whole lot about about PCs, guys, but I got a PC so I can sim race. But the PC I bought had a Cooler Master Box 5 or Armalite 5. It's an easy bake oven. I mean, the cooling in that thing, the airflow is horrendous. So got a fractal torrent on the way, which, funny enough, that case had a recall for starting fires. Something to do with the fan control unit. Actually had to do a recall because it was lighting people's computers on fire. So I have to make sure that the one I ordered on OfferUp is the updated version. Woo! We hit the bump of death. Once out of every 60, 70 laps here, there's that bump where you high center.
Yellow flag ahead, charging front.
And that's usually at the end of the race. Fortunately, I was able to save it that time, but not always the case.
Yellow flag, be careful.
Cool, Mr. Escobar doing donuts in the middle of the race line. Still running a nice 66 degrees. Love to see it. CPU usage is right around 40. Oh, no. Only 36 at this point. That's probably because we're not really around any cars.
Yellow flag in sector 2.
I think the reason we're able to run FSR instead of DLSS and still get decent frame rates is because we have so much headroom with this CPU. Could be wrong, but it feels like that's what's going on. Jay Key was catching us in the Honda.
P1, excellent job. What a race. See you in the pits. Bring
Woo!
it back.
Quickest lap of 218.7. Got our 5 bonus points. One day we'll figure out what those actually go towards. But let me take you guys and show you the settings that we were running. Full screen, it's a 5120 by 1440. Scepter C50 VSync is on. If I turn that off, I might get a little better frames, but it looks pretty good with it on. Frame rate limit 120. That's the most this thing will do. View distance epic, shadows epic, shadow distance high, contact shadows enabled, anti-aliasing epic, TAA Gen 5 enabled, FSR quality ultra, effects high, post-processing high, foliage high, texture epic, mirror at high, blah blah blah. Materials quality epic, bloom quality epic, volumetric fog high, and so on and so forth. And if you are wondering why this probably looks better than what you're used to seeing with ACC, if you turn the exposure down, in my opinion, and I think just correctly stating, ACC comes way overexposed. So I run at 0.33. If it is a night race, you do need to bump that up, otherwise you're not going to be able to see anything. And then contrast at 0.80, tone mapping, aces, and that's going to give you a really nice image. So thanks so much for watching. If you do want to catch me live on Twitch, it's the same name, NML Racing. I'll link it below. Stream almost every evening, about 9 o'clock Pacific time. Be sure to follow over there and hit the subscribe button here. Appreciate your time, and we will catch you next time. See you.